Do you want to get into podcasting, but you have no idea how to set a microphone up and you're wondering why it doesn't sound good all the time? Like, why doesn't it sound good when I'm back here or off to the side? What's the problem? Can't this thing just sound good? Can't it just do what it's supposed to do? If you're new to recording, I'll admit, all of this stuff can seem really intimidating. People start throwing terminology at you like proximity effect, gain staging, off-axis rejection. It's like, what the hell does that even mean? I'm sure most of you guys out there just want to be able to put a mic up, hit record, and make it sound good. I notice a parallel with photography. It's like I've been a photographer ever since like 1989 when I went to college for media arts. And I'll go out shooting some stuff and I'll bring along an extra camera for my wife, and the first thing she says to me is, just put it on automatic. I don't want to know about any of that crap. She just wants to point a camera and have it take pictures and have it look good. Lewitt's taken the exact same approach with this. This is their new mic. It's called the Ray because it uses an infrared sensor to measure your distance from the mic, and it will adjust gain and the proximity effect. That's where we increase bass frequencies the closer we get to the mic. Like if I talk a little bit closer to this mic right here, notice the bass gets a little bit louder as well. And if I go away from the mic, you know, it's a little bit more distant sounding, that kind of thing. Lewitt figured out a way how to get around that issue. This is something that's plagued audio engineers since the invention of the freaking microphone. Let's unbox it. Let's take a look. So I got it out of the box and it's got all the usual Lewitt goodies. It's got a shock mount, it's got a foam filter, we get a metal pop filter, and we even get a bag for it as well. Super cool. I always love how Lewitt throws in all the little accessories like that. Like, you guys have no idea how desperately I need a pop filter on my voice. Like, my voice is incredibly plosive. So I've usually got to throw some pretty serious foam up on a mic. Otherwise, it's just, you know, poof, 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 and just sounds horrible. That just takes the guesswork for a lot of people out of it. Seriously, just grab the foam, drop this on, you're good to go. And it's got this great graph in the front that'll measure exactly how far you are from the mic and make the adjustments accordingly. I gotta say, that is a super cool feature. They were definitely thinking outside the box with this one. I've never come across a microphone that does this sort of thing. I think it's really cool. Tell you what, let's throw it up here onto my monologue mic and see what it can do in that situation. Now, I did something I really don't do very often, and that is I tried a different mic for my main voice over here. I've got the Ray just sitting out of the frame right here, like where I normally have this mic. This is the mic I've been using since like the earliest days. Like I've been using this ever since How to Get Your Band Ready for the Studio. This is my Octava MC012. It's a little dinged, it's a little beat up. Definitely got my use out of it, that's for sure. I bought these in 2001, like August 2001. I've had this sitting off camera, you know, for the longest time, and it's great, but I thought I'd try the Ray and see what we get because, again, it's got that wonderful automatic gain compensation. So if I move away, it's gonna stay the same level. That's really cool. And then I get closer and closer, and it's gonna do the exact same thing, and I can look right back up at the mic here. It'll do a thing. So that's pretty cool. Like, what happens if I move over here though? I'm just kind of curious how far off axis I go. That's crazy. Here's the thing. I mean, like, because it's got that infrared sensor, let's move in and anything, let's check it out. And we're back here, and then move the infrared sensor up here. See if that does any compensation or not. That's kind of weird, but I do like the idea of being able to slide back here and you guys can still hear what I'm saying. That's a really cool feature. Now this is where it gets interesting. I've got the Ray set up on the Dynamount, and I'm going to show you guys what happens here when we start moving the mic around. This is really neat stuff. Check this out. Did you hear that? We got a shift in tone by moving the mic back, but we didn't get a drop in level. How crazy is that? I've never seen that before. Let's move it over a bit. That's absolutely nuts because this opens up some definite new possibilities when it comes to miking guitars because we're not getting the volume drop. This means we're going to be able to do cool stuff like have two different microphones at two different distances, giving us a slightly different sound. And by that nature, we will get a wider stereo field. The only caveat here is we do get some weird behavior when the mic gets close to the cabinet. It's almost like the infrared sensor isn't reading it correctly because there's so much vibration going on with its target. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the cause of that would be. I'm gonna have to talk to the Lewitt guys, but I highly suspect it might even be just the color of the grill cloth. I'm gonna have to try it on a couple of different cabinets where I can remove the grill and see if we get the same issue or not. The cool thing is you can disable that part of the microphone. You can hit the aura switch and that'll turn that sensor off if you want to close mic it. And then it becomes the exact same thing as the 440 Air microphone, which is absolutely incredible on guitars. Now, one thing I did try doing here was I recorded the guitars like I normally would do a multi-track guitar session, except with this case, I did another track of the second take and moved the mic back by a few inches just to show you the difference of what's going on. This is pretty damn cool. Let me solo this up here. This is the second track here. And then I move it over. So we're getting that just by moving the mic. Now this is where it gets interesting. Let's hear that in a stereo guitar configuration. Let's see what happens when we keep the first mic in the same position and we moved the second mic. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a slight shift in the stereo field going on there. Not to mention one mic's a little bit brighter than the other. Now, the reason I hate recording like this normally is because it's just so difficult to get the levels to match. You just don't know if you're ever going to get it right. Here, the mic is doing the heavy lifting for you and you can nail it every single time. But of course, these are just sewed up guitars. What really counts is how well it works in a mix. Hit it! Now, one of the really cool features about this mic that I completely forgot about is the auto mute feature. If we're doing content creation, that usually means a lot of explainer videos. We've got audio going in the background, and that means bleed coming from the monitors into the narration mic. I mean, like if I do playback here, I mean, that's pretty damn loud, but we can set a distance threshold. So we're talking, but if I pull away from the mic, check this out. It completely shuts off. How freaking cool is that? I mean, like, I can't think of how many countless hours I've spent muting audio when I've got playback going just for a cleaner sound. The fact that this mic will do it automatically, that is such a complete and total game changer. In my opinion, that's worth the price of admission right here. So, you know, gold star to Lewitt for thinking outside the box and doing something with microphones nobody's ever really done before. This is a very cool way to use the technology. What I would like to see though is a way to keep the automatic gain compensation like it is, but I'd like the ability to turn off the proximity effect boost. Like, to be honest with you guys, mixing the guitar tracks, they were cool, but it just added on so much unnecessary low end onto the guitars. I basically had to shovel stuff out with an EQ, and I'd rather not do that. Like, I took that master and ran it through Ozone, and it was just going insane with a shelving EQ. I'm like, where the fuck's all this stuff come from? It took me about an hour to figure out that, oh, hang on, I need to shelve out the bottom here because of the added proximity effect going on here. So really cool on a vocal. It's neat on a guitar, but unless you know exactly what you're doing, be very, very, very careful, or you might wind up getting some money mixes. But I do love the idea of being able to put the guitar mic at different distances from your cabinet and getting the exact same level. That's amazing. I've never seen that before, and I think that can make for a bigger stereo spread in the long run. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is you are going to need to light your subject so the IR can see your target. Otherwise, you're going to run into all kinds of volume issues. Once again, it makes its gain adjustment based on distance, and it uses infrared to do that. And if it can't see anything, you're going to get weird weird inaccuracies. So yeah, thanks to my friends at Adam Hall, I got this really cool magnetic light bar, and this really does the trick. Definitely comes in handy. You can stick these things anywhere. Point being is, though, if you get too close to a cabinet, you're going to get some weird volume fluctuations as well, because I think it's actually measuring the vibrations of the speaker, and it's trying to keep up with what's going on. So yeah, back it off just a little bit. Again, super cool technology, was not developed for recording guitar at all. This is definitely some outside the box thinking on an outside the box mic. It would be really cool to see them develop the tech just a little bit further, especially in the case of the 640 Rex mic. I would love to see some kind of IR sensor put on there with gain compensation, but not proximity effect compensation, or make it switchable at least. And that way we can have that gain matching function added to my all-time favorite guitar mic. I think that would be super cool. Okay, just checking my notes here. You can get it at Guitar Center, Thomann, and Sweetwater for only $349. Again, I think it's pretty damn cool. I'm gonna try doing some voiceover type videos with it. I think it's gonna be really neat. I wanted to try doing a couple live streams with it, see how that goes. But most of all, I think this is the microphone I would recommend to my niece. She's like 19 and she wants to be a Twitch game streamer. You guys might remember her. She was the one who was in that Star Wars Empire Strikes Back react video. She had never seen it before. Yeah, about 1 million of you guys saw that video. Anyway, yeah, she wants to do the Twitch thing, and she may or may not have got a really cool gaming system from Uncle Glenn. We'll see how that turns out. But she's going to need a microphone, and yeah, the Ray might be exactly the kind of thing I would recommend her, because it's just gonna do the thing you want it to do. Isn't that the whole point of technology? To make life easier? All right, okay. Oh, fuck! One more time. Fuck! Ugh. One more time.